splinter group. You know, there's no way the riders from Tudor are going to ride in the group with Syriza, Weemas and, you know, various others in there. So who is going to chase? I think, you know, we can honestly say that the three kind of top sprinters are decline with the 2 stages and from Tudor. So like you say, they're not going to ride. Weemas has got human powered health. They put 1 rider up, a little bit late, but they put 1 rider up. And then you've got Syriza with Astana. Like, you know, Astana have got Pronsky, who's the white jersey, the best young rider. But I think most of those riders tend to be not big kind of powerhouses, but more kind of climber type riders. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult to bring these riders back. It needs a concerted effort. We say this all along. 4 committed riders needs 4 committed riders behind just to hold it. Or if the 4 committed riders at the front of the peloton are riding 50 watts plus more than these guys at the front, but you can see these guys are committed completely, and it's going to need a really, really hard effort to bring these back in the last 25 kilometers.
Yeah, this could be an absolute top opportunity for someone like Michael Zeilaert to get his first professional win. Luke Muchwaite, he's on the wheel of Zeilaert at the moment, means that Bolton Equities, of course, they don't have to contribute to any of the chasing at all. I must say, I think Luke has got some speed. He showed it in Kinghigh Lake, for example, in July.
Do you know what you said?
Yeah.
If they still have about a minute coming into the last kilometres, I don't think it will be a sprint. Not with 2 riders here from the same team. If I was there, if I was the team manager, you've got a 50% chance, but you know, 2 out of 4. But I wouldn't leave it to a sprint. Sprint, you never know what's going to happen. I know we're talking about, you know, the fastest rider here and there, but I would attack this one towards the end and make sure that you guaranteed the win, i.e. a Tudor pro cycling rider comes to the finish, you know, alone. Doesn't matter if it's Zeilaert or Pelot, you do the old 1-2.
The Tudor Pro Cycling team are led by Marcel Sieberg as their sports director here. Of course, a man who was part of the infamous Lotto train around André Greipel, with Jurgen Roelands, with Greg Henderson as well. But this is a very interesting situation. If the GPS is correct, and I do assume it is, the gap is going up, and it's exactly what you explained, Brian. We've got 1 man at the front doing some work for human powered health. Well, apparently we've got 2 right now, and that's no match for the 4 guys at the front. It's a really interesting outcome from this this final stage.
Do you know, in it was brought back quite quickly, and it does look as if the peloton have got their act together. Dodgy GPS giving us, you know, 2:25 at one point, and then it's down to, you know, under 1 minute. So I think, you know, forgetting about the GPS, it's looking good for the riders that have come to the front now. No kind of panic stations. It's still doable, but you know, we have to. This could be the only breakaway of the whole race, making it to the finish. It's looking a little less likely, but you can see, look, they've given it absolutely everything, and everybody has to come out. I was just a bit worried why Zeilaert was starting to miss some turns there. I know that it's been a long race. You know, even they're starting to look at each other now here. Gaburo was like, you know, that was a strong turn by Mudgway here, and it doesn't seem to be, you know, in coordination. You know, they need to communicate with each other here, otherwise it's game over.
I think it's already over, Brian. This is not going to happen anymore.
Come on, this is the last stage. We have to be. A few people said to us, oh, you know, why are you bringing, you know, the cycling down by talking negative about, you know, sponsorship? We are talking about the truth. So today I've said, we'll think about the positives. Oh, so go with the positives, right?
I thought there's something going on with you, but you're on a positive streak today. Aha.
Yeah, it's not normal.
It's not normal. Yeah, this is absolutely great work by the Caja Rural team. They have a stage winner, of course, as have most of the sprinter teams. The race is supported by the Malaysian government, but you don't see it all that often anymore, that races go to big cities like this one.
It was a strange moment there because the chase at the front of the peloton was breaking down. The group in front was kind of breaking down a little bit. This is this like kind of downhill part where it all came back together. So it is only a matter of about 30 odd seconds. You can see Corotec getting involved as well. This has been fast and furious racing, but this is not helping. Look, they're all looking up. Pillow going alone. It's end of breakaway, unfortunately.
Remarkable and sad. Yeah, sadly, in just 20 kilometers time, a very promising lead of 2.5 minutes for our 4 breakaway riders dropped down to 35, and they're about to be caught. Apart from this man, Simon Pilot, recorded images here a couple of minutes ago when he went alone. There's a lot of unhappy faces there with the other 3, Brian.
Yeah, I think it started with Zeeland kind of sitting on a little bit, having 2 riders in the breakaway for Tudor Pro Cycling, and you know they're all kind of committing. It wasn't a cohesive unit, and you have to have that. It's like a team time trial. We're all as one. Forget about everything else and try and come to the finish. They stood a bit of a chance. Yeah, you can see the Tudor Pro Cycling. The motorbikes have got close quite a few times. We've seen it the other day that it makes a huge amount of difference, but surely they don't think with 10 kilometres ago that Pilot is going to hang on. So there's fewer and fewer riders left at the front of the peloton. However, 36 seconds. He's in sight in these kind of long straights, but the trouble with the decline has got, and they've just sat up. They've done that old tactic, just sat up. One rider in front of sat up, and you know every second is going to count. But Zeeland, with him being in the breakaway, he might not be as effective in his lead out towards the finish. Waymas's team have already been up to the front. Zaritsa's team have. So it kind of opens. I wouldn't say there was an out-and-out favourite, although this race we've seen Zaritsa, Waymas, and of course Decline the top 3. But I think in this stage the others really do have a chance, and that's why we're seeing some of the teams coming up.
Well, Michael Zeeland has made it across to his teammate as we go over another overpass, and these are the meters of elevation in the final that really do hurt the legs if you want to stay up front and get absolutely knackered. We're making our way to Kuala Lumpur. We're already on the outskirts. This is the metropolitan area of the town that all the way back started, like many of the towns actually, in Malaysia because they found the tin ore here. They started mining that, and then eventually it was dedicated as the capital of Malaysia after the independence in 1957. This is a really interesting. Simon Pilot, Michael Zeeland at the front. It might be that Arvid de Klein said this morning, okay, boys, just try. I'll be fine. I got 2 stage wins. You go and try something. Have fun.
Well, I think it was the fact that, and you mentioned the 14 riders that are in the breakaway, having a couple of sprinters there. Tudor Pro Cycling weren't having that, so they probably thought, right, we're going to try and get rid of the sprinters, and then they found themselves committed. And when you're committed, you go with it. You can't have 2 minds, and Zeeland has found himself in that situation, so you have to commit to this one. It might have been a case of Decline maybe not feeling great this morning and say, look guys, go out and race it, but I just think it was some of the other sprinters got involved with the action and found yourself in that position. Sometimes this happens, and when you find yourself in that position, you go with it, and that's what Zeeland has done today. It does look as if they're going to be brought back, and we're going to go see a pretty messy and manic sprint finish here.
Yeah, we're making our way to our final corner, actually. If we look at the little wind that is actually on the radar, it is a headwind. So that is, of course, not great for these riders at the front. And they started attacking quite early on, and we can see the bunch behind them already. There's absolutely no organised racing at the front as well. It's going to be absolutely manic drag racing to the finish line right now. Final 5 kilometres.
Yeah, we're coming up to almost the kind of last turn here soon, and You know, the peloton have got these two riders on the site. You can see with the facial expressions, they're giving it absolutely everything to try and stay away. Unfortunately for them, it's not going to be. The bunch have got them on a matter of about 50 metres now. But what happens next? Because so many teams have thrown the riders towards the front. We might see some attacks actually in the last kind of 4 kilometres.
Here is our final corner, as far as I can read this map. And that means that in the final, we are going to have a little bit of a headwind, which is not favourable if you want... Oh, that was very close. That is not favourable if you want to try and attack on your own. But our last two breakaway riders are now caught. So the peloton is complete, all 109 riders. Yeah, the man that we saw do these all-or-nothing attacks in the final, the Japanese champion Yamamoto, sadly abandoned earlier this stage after a crash. So we won't see him do what he did in previous stages, due to the fact that we have a little bit of headwind. They have to keep it together, Brian. It would be absolutely stupid to go and attack right now.
Yeah, with that bit of a headwind, you know, just as the two riders were brought back, there was an opportunity. It really depended who took it up, and it's Bolton Equities and the Purple have taken it up. They've got George Jackson, who has already won a stage, but that was a reduced bunch finish. Just look as if Babor has got his lead-out train organised. Syriza just pretty much, he's done it all on his own, and he's still there. Yeah, in the light blue. You've got other teams, you know, getting in the mix as well. So this is a long, straight, wide sprint, and it's going to be absolute carnage. And it's going to be about really having a little bit of patience, because you can burn so many riders up in these type of finishes. Headwinds, keeping high watts, and it's not really a kind of washing machine effect at the moment, but it will be soon.
We have Arvid de Klein. He's got one more rider in front of him, but he kind of just hitched a ride there on the Bolton Equities train that is down one rider already. That is a little bit early. The riders in the light blue are not Astana. They are the Hengshang cycling team with Latvian rider Bogdanovic, who did a few top 10 places. But for now, it's Cajarural. Just like the other day, they hit the front and really a little bit early. On the other side of the road, we have the combined effort of Bolton Equities and Tudor. In the orange jersey is our leader in the points classification, Arvid de Klein. He's now basically getting swamped by the entire Bolton and Equities team. They have one stage win with George Jackson, and can they do it again, Brian? What do you think?
I don't think George Jackson is as fast as the other sprinters that we've named, Syriza, Wemas and de Klein. I have to say that Wemas, he done a perfect sprint yesterday. But look, you know, Cohen's riders on the other side of it, it's getting rather chaotic. The mentality coming into the last kind of 2 kilometres here is, you know, last stage scenario situation where they're just going to give absolutely everything, hold nothing back, and dare I say it, take a little bit more risk than they would normally do.
Yeah, well, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't seen any major crashes in the sprints, even though they were rather chaotic. We're now making our way to the final kilometre. The arch should be here somewhere. The pace is ridiculously high as we go into the city centre of Kuala Lumpur. Past the hospital there on the left side, but we're looking for the Flamme Rouge. It should be coming up. The camera work is all over the place early this morning. We do see some orange of Human Powered Health get to the front right now, and this is the Hengshang cycling team yet again. I haven't seen, there is the Flamme Rouge. It's on the left side of the road. We're inside the final kilometre. One rider from the Hengshang cycling team in the blue is at the front right now, but look at the speed. You can see it from this footage, how fast everything is really going right now. Human Powered Health there with the orange at the front, and don't be fooled, the orange jersey is also the one of Arvid de Klein. He's won 2 stages already. His teammates were very active in the breakaway, but can he pull it off by himself? Bolton Equities are still at the front right now. Teams are everywhere. Cajarural is still there. We have a little bit of Bardiani, but with this image, it's absolutely impossible to tell you what is happening. The motorbike is out of the way, and we'll have to wait for the sprint finish right here. There they are. Well, you tell me, Brian. I have absolutely no idea what's happening right here and who actually wins the race. Here we go into the final. It's George Jackson, it's Babur again, it's Syriza, it's Wemas, and there's Arvid de Klein, and it looks like it's Syriza taking it.
Yeah,
I would say it's Gleb Syriza. But that was complete chaos and a complete lack of coverage as well. But it looks like Syriza has it, and of course Simon Carr is the overall winner of this year's Tour of Langkawi.
Yeah, we almost forgot him, didn't we? one stage of brilliance, and you know, he wins. But yeah, chaotic sprint, blanket finish in the end. Just wait for the replay there. It did look as if it was Syriza on the inside. Decline Babur. It was a good sprint there by Babur. Wemas seems to be just tiring a little bit, but between four, I don't know who won. I think Wemas just on the left-hand side, Decline, it opens up. He was a little bit too far back. It's between Babur and Syriza on the inside.
I would go with Syriza.
Yeah, I would go, but you never know. We are looking at it from after the line. I would go with Syriza. I think you called it.